Hey Warriors, we've reached the time in the year where we get to talk about stress. Yay! It's kind of appropriate. It's right around the holiday season, and this is one place that can cause us stress because we need money to buy the things to make our people happy and to make us happy. So what causes you the most stress? Well, what I hear from students is typically friends, family, school, work, the like. It produces tension. It causes worry and anxiety. And how we handle stress can indicate whether or not we have true concerns. One thing to know about stress is it is a two-pronged component. We have a bodily reaction and we also have a mind reaction, just like we do with emotions, and we're going to learn more about that here. But first, as always, we'll start with the definition of stress, and stress is a person's perception of the inability to cope with a certain event or situation. Please take note of the perception because it is how we interpret stimuli. The stimuli may be the event that causes us the stress, and what causes stress? Something called a stressor. A stressor is a stress-producing event or situation. To go a bit further on this, Hans Selye describes two types of stress. There is your eustress, which is positive stress that causes us to do better, comes from challenges or strivings, things that we're trying to accomplish, like the edginess you feel before a event, before the piano recital, before the dance recital. The good stuff that makes you compelled to complete a goal. And then you have your distress. The distress is negative stress, and that comes from pressure and can cause harm. When considering our stressors, we look at the following four things to blame. Sources of stress can include conflict situations where we might have to make a choice between a good thing, a bad thing, or maybe even two good things. Life changes, which include, not for you, I hope, divorce, moving to a new school, the work schedule. These things can cause life changes. Number 3 is work, and if you're strictly a student, then of course your student work is a part of your work life. And number 4, just everyday sources of stress. We have sources of stress like driving to our school. Since it's out in the country and there's only one way to get here, it can produce traffic, long lines, smelly farts. Everyday sources of stress is concerning. I've given you a SRRS, which is the Social Readjustment Rating Scale created by Thomas Holmes and Richard Rahe. Now, I don't know if that's how you pronounce Rahe, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. This measures life changes to determine how much stress will likely develop. You have been given one that is for non-adults. The ones that are listed here are for adults. So Holmes and Rahe in the 1950s surveyed college-aged young men, because that was primarily who was in college, was young men. And these were the typical things that they said caused the most stress. So you've got your death of a spouse, divorce, jail term, death of a close family member. All of these things were the highest rated sources of stress. If we take the SRRS and we have a high score, the more susceptible we are to stress-related illnesses like heart disease, heart attacks, all the things associated with that, and we'll get into those health risks soon. We listed conflict situations as one of our stressors, so let's talk about how those conflict situations become stressors. So a conflict situation is where we have to make a difficult decision, a situation where a person must choose between two or more options that result from opposing motives. There are 4 types, which include everything listed here: approach, avoidance, approach, and double approach avoidance. And the good thing about conflict situations is they are what they sound like. So an approach is good. All right, approach, like I said, choosing between 2 attractive alternatives, like choosing between 2 colleges. You might have to choose between University of South Carolina and Clemson. Both are great options. You have your avoidance. These are 2 bad decisions. So choosing between running sprints or running the mile. I don't think that works for avoidance. I'm going to say choosing between cleaning the bathroom or cleaning the kitchen. Blech, both suck. All right, conflict situations in more detail here. Approach, avoidance. Just like it sounds, approach. Yay, I want to approach this one. Avoidance. Boo, I don't like it. So we're choosing between a good thing and a bad thing. So wanting to do something, but fearing or doubting about it at the same time. So in this example, we ask for a raise. Good, but fears of being fired. Approach avoidance. Ask my parents for some money, but then maybe there's some things, some attachments to it. I have to clean my room or whatever. I don't know what parents do these days. Next, double approach avoidance conflict, choosing between two or more alternatives, each having attractive and unattractive options. So we can have a vacation snowboarding or stay at home and go to a concert. Each have good and bad. Double approach avoidance can get a little bit tricky because I could go on vacation, but then I have to spend all the money for it. Go on vacation, have great memories, but go into debt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, loved ones, we're here for the love, not the likes. We're here for the learning, not the likes. Look, that's the end of this particular video, but don't stop with this one. Go on to the next one where we can talk about effective ways of dealing with stress. Furthermore, stress is something that we all go through, and being able to recognize the fact that it has both the mind component and the body component can better help me deal with these stressors. So stay tuned for more information on how to deal with your stress.